Hello everyone. In this guide I will show you how to use Parsec to be able to play games remotely from anywhere. You will need a gaming machine with internet access and a laptop. Download Parsec from the link in the video description and install it. You can choose to install the virtual display driver on a host. It is optional and is only used for headless systems. In this next window, you can either choose the per-user account login or make it as a shared user account for anyone who wants to access the machine. The latter is used in team environment setups or if you have a family member who wants to use your machine, so we will go for the per-user option. After finishing the install, you will then get to this screen. Create an account with sign up to get started. As I already have my account, I can skip this step. In this screen, you can choose which computer to connect to. Make sure you have installed Parsec on both the client and the host. Click on the reload button to refresh. Now we get into the settings page. Usually just leave this by default and configure it if you have issues. Set your renderer to Direct 3D11, NVIDIA as encoder and set H.265 off. If you want to try the newer codec, turn H.265 on if it does not cause issues for you. Under Hosts, make sure hosting is enabled on the client machine, otherwise you will not be able to connect. Use Client Resolution setting will resize your host's resolution to that of the client, so that if you play on a laptop remotely, the display fits perfectly for you. If you are on data plan, you can set the bandwidth limit lower so that Parsec doesn't use as much data. This can, however, affect performance, so bear this in mind. Keep all other settings at default. You can change the quality setting from lowest latency to highest quality if you want the appearance on your client to be as high quality as possible. This, however, will consume more bandwidth and resources, so bear this in mind. Approved Apps setting. This is if you want to limit the client machine from running applications. A good example is if you want to limit the client to only running specific games onto your machine to prevent unauthorized access. Network setting. If you have a configured firewall on your router that only allows access to specific ports, then you must set the host and the client port here, otherwise just leave this setting at default. To configure which ports you want to open, you will have to access your router via your default gateway and configure which ports to open from there. This is my test footage of Elden Ring being played from a low-spec laptop client machine. There is visibly little to no latency. This enables anyone to be able to play games remotely on a low-grade laptop that normally could not run high-end games such as Elden Ring. Your internet speed is still critical when using Parsec to play remotely. If there is too much lag, performance will also be affected. Thank you for watching. If this has helped you, please consider liking and subscribing. Happy gaming!